Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the subsequent imposition of sanctions by Western nations, the number of people from Russia visiting the Emirates airline website has nearly doubled to nearly 300,000. Experts predict this tendency will continue as Russians seek refuge from sanctions and protection for their wealth. Some people are probably also attempting to flee their country because they feel unsafe in light of the current political climate. So, why are Russian elites fleeing their country to settle exactly in Dubai, and not any other country? One expert in the oil industry who traveled to Dubai last month told DW that the city's vibe has shifted. According to the insider, there's the feeling that this is an incredible game changer in terms of the influx of capital to Dubai as Russians flee the nation in search of financial stability elsewhere. There have also been rumors of private jets belonging to Russian oligarchs making the trip from Moscow to Dubai and back. A Ukrainian tabloid said that the country's intelligence agency believed the oligarchs were moving valuables to the safe haven of Dubai. Using marine traffic websites, open-source investigators have also detected a number of superyachts docked in Dubai. The United Arab Emirates is a safe haven for the superyachts since it has not placed the same severe sanctions on Russia. Russian-speaking business consultants in Dubai have reported to international media outlets an unprecedented uptick in inquiries from within Russia. After a year of observation, the watchdog put the UAE on a gray list earlier this month. This implies that the UAE is now a jurisdiction under increased monitoring. Sanctions imposed by the West on members of Putin's closest circle. Western countries have responded to Russian aggression in Ukraine by imposing heavy sanctions on the Russian economy and on President Vladimir Putin's inner circle. But who are the millionaire pals of Putin's that he has blacklisted? One of them is Mr. Roman Abramovich. One of the most recent billionaires to be banned is Roman Abramovich, owner of the Chelsea Football Club. Recently, he put the club up for sale and stated that he would use the proceeds to help those in Ukraine who had suffered because of the fighting. On March 10th, however, the government of the United Kingdom blocked his efforts by freezing his assets. In 2008, Abramovich's wealth was estimated at $23.5 billion, making him the wealthiest person in Russia. Next is Igor Sechin. Sechin is the current head of Russia's national oil corporation, Rosneft, and he previously served as Russia's deputy prime minister, one of Putin's closest advisors and his personal friend, as described in the EU sanctions statement. Sechin is said to be in favor of incorporating the unlawfully occupied Crimea into Russia, and Rosneft's involvement in supplying fuel to an airport on the peninsula was cited as evidence. Then is Alisher Usmanov. Usmanov is a metals and telecommunications magnate who hails from Uzbekistan. He was named as one of Putin's favorite oligarchs by the European Union, which also claimed that he had given millions to one of Putin's main advisors and had invited Putin to stay in his mansion. On Wednesday, he was added to the blacklists of the United States and the United Kingdom. Petr Avin and Mikhail Fridman were also blacklisted. To quote the EU, Fridman is a top Russian financier and enabler of Putin's inner circle. According to Reuters, he and his long-term partner, Petr Avin, have made billions of dollars in the oil, banking, and retail industries. Among the affluent Russian business people who frequently visit Putin at the Kremlin is Avin, according to the EU paper. At a news conference on Tuesday, Fridman and Avin denied having any financial or political relationship with President Putin or the Kremlin and vowed to fight the sanctions through all means available to them. Fridman is one of the few officially sanctioned Russians who has publicly spoken out against the conflict. He was born in western Ukraine. Rotenberg brothers Boris and Igor. The Rotenbergs are well-known Putin allies. Boris is a co-owner of SMP Bank, which has ties to Gazprom, a Russian energy company. Putin and his older brother Arkady have been training in judo together since they were youngsters. Arkady is currently facing sanctions from the EU and the US. Arkady's son, Igor, is at the helm of the drilling firm Gazprom Buranai. The United Kingdom and the United States blacklisted Boris and Igor on March 2nd. According to the EU sanctions document, Gennady Timchenko is a major shareholder in Rossiya Bank, which is known as the personal bank of senior Russian politicians. The bank has backed TV stations that air content promoting the destabilization of Ukraine by the Russian government. The EU has accused Rossiya Bank, which has built branches in Crimea, of aiding in the peninsula's illegal annexation. Mordashov Alexei. The EU claims that Mordashov supports Russia's destabilizing policies toward Ukraine through his investments in National Media Group, the country's largest private media company. The billionaire issued a statement saying he had nothing to do with the emergence of the current geopolitical tension, and that the war was a tragedy of two fraternal peoples. Repossessed yachts, asset freezes, and travel bans are among the latest measures. In recent days, Italy, France, and the United Kingdom have all seized a number of yachts owned by Russia's upper class. The yachts of several billionaires, including Sechin, Usmanov, and Timchenko, have been seized. A residency visa is available to foreign buyers of real estate in the United Arab Emirates without the need for a local sponsor. Cash is king, and investigators have found that the paperwork required to acquire an apartment or launch a business is minimal. A 3-year visa to the United Arab Emirates can be obtained by investing roughly $272,000 in property. A 5-year visa can be purchased for approximately $1.36 million. It's possible that middle and upper class Russians who want to flee the country's regime or the country's economic collapse may also afford to set up shop here. A database of the overseas assets reported by Russian politicians is maintained by the International Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. Only 62 garages, apartments, and residential buildings are officially recorded in the UAE. Of course, the UAE is not the only place where the wealthy could hide their money if they were trying to avoid sanctions. Pakistan, South Sudan, the Cayman Islands, Yemen, and Morocco are just a few of the 23 countries on FATF's gray list. However, several of these countries are now backing moves to economically isolate Russia, and there are other reasons why the UAE remains appealing. Visa-free travel to Dubai has long been a popular option for Russians, with an expected 730,000 Russian visitors in 2019 before the pandemic halted tourism. It is estimated that there are currently around 100,000 Russian speakers residing in the UAE, with roughly 40,000 coming from Russia and the remainder from post-Soviet republics. Additionally, the political climate is favorable. A monarchy based on tribal authority rules each of the emirates that make up the United Arab Emirates. Civil society, freedom of speech, and a free press are all stifled in the emirates, according to human rights campaigners. After all, it's not only the Russians who pack their stuff to go on the first Emirati airplane they find and live there for the rest of their lives. It's basically every oligarch in the world who feels that they're threatened, since Dubai offers its citizens the safety and security they need for their well-being and their money. So it's only a natural thing that so many prominent Russian figures ended up fleeing to the Middle Eastern megacity. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed our newest video. Don't forget to leave a like as well and subscribe if you enjoy watching our latest content.